G'day and welcome back for more Scrapyard survival with the successful train. And I'm just driving it around the yard because I'm trying to think about what I'm going to do to my base. Now, obviously there are the big progress plans that I want to make, like I do want to get us towards having a refueling and launch platform and all that sort of stuff, and the turtle and the other ideas. But if we're going to be having people coming over here and helping me build stuff at my base, I really should get my base a bit better organized. Or at least have some clear parking spaces, some clear building areas, that sort of thing. And looking at it from above, I kind of think I know what I want to do now. I obviously want to have some sort of station for the train so that there's platforms alongside it, as well as the charging thing. That's kind of one thing I want to have, but then I also want to have the bridges and have my name, or the kind of location's name on the rail cars or on the bridge itself in neon, so I can have that looking all nice and fancy. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to use my bridges to make the entryway over this side, and I'll need to lift those up and, you know, raise that so that it's a fairly high bridge, and then I can put my sign on there. Then you drive in and you can drive up into this area, but this part here will remain unpaved because that's going to be where people can do the group builds. Then this area over here, which I'll extend this paved area out and make it come round, will be where all the scrap gets piled that's not been processed or that's going to be used for various projects, so that people can easily get to my cargo, easily get to the scrap and do the building in this area. And people can include me in this instance. Then, along this side is where I'll have the station platform, so the train can come along, get charged, and everything can connect up, and people can easily jump on board without having to worry about the wheels so much. So yeah, that's the goal. I don't know how much I'll get through of that today, but I want to get through at least some of it, and I want to try and organize my base a bit better so that when people come to visit, it's clear where they need to go, and clear where things are going to be done and all that sort of stuff. I might just leave the train there, but I might turn it off so that it doesn't use up any power. First step, I think, is going to be probably building out towards the train platform, because that sort of side of things is going to control scale a bit, I think. And then I can figure out the gateway. The gateway needs to be at least 5 blocks tall, I reckon, because I want to be able to drag fairly large stuff through. Now, what do I need to do? There's so much stuff around here. Oh, man. To get this helicopter out of the way and maybe move a few other things. So I might start with the nugget and clearing up space with it. Alright, so I've got a bit of a railing on this now, and I've built in the ramp over to the side. But I was just looking at this. I think I'm going to cut away these parking spots that I'd created because they didn't end up functioning the way that I'd hoped. And they're kind of getting in the way. What I'm thinking is it might be nice from this side to have a little walkway bridge that goes over to the station that the scrap is on the far side of, so that I don't always have to walk down. But I'm not sure how that's going to fit in. I'm going to have to try a couple of things. But basically the scrap area has to be on voxel. It can't be in the... it can't be paved. For the reasons that stop me from using these magnetic plates in the first place, which is that sometimes you just don't want to be grinding on top of something that can be ground down itself. You want that invulnerable voxel beneath you. Do I really want to make another bridge? It's quite a long distance. I think maybe I'll just set a stairs, put a set of stairs in here. Just thinking, if I make a bridge going all the way over there, that's going to be a significant risk to the nugget. So if I just stick with a set of stairs for now, and I'll contemplate having a full bridge over there once I've got this cleaned up. I was also kind of getting into that headspace of, I don't know what to do next because I don't know how to fit this bridge in. And that's what also made me go, nope, no bridge, no bridge, not for now. Pave out this way a bit further. Let's just have a look how much further I want to go. I'm thinking I need to leave myself room to utilize back here, so I want to probably go back maybe 15 blocks or so. The reason I want to leave this area as usable and accessible by the scrap area is that this is probably going to be where I put my fuel, I may move my cargo containers around the back of the warehouse, so then this could be a launch pad or something like that. Maybe the launch pad will be built elsewhere. I don't know. This is just my thought for now. Is it going to be far enough? Yeah, that should be a big enough scrap area. Trying to keep this all as a connected grid because I want to be able to use the station for getting power to the train. And that means the station has to be connected up. I could have offset it like I did that other warehouse and done connections underground and all that nonsense. But honestly, I think for this, it would make it feel a bit nicer if I can put a fence around. Just not because I actually have to fence anybody out, but because I think that'd be nice. Does that seem about the right size? The amount of scrap I've got? Yeah, I think I can make that work. Now I can grind this out and I can grab the nugget and pick up everything and put it in this area to try and bring it all together and then start working on the next bit. Alrighty, that's looking pretty good. Feels a bit tidier with them at least semi-boxed in. Now for the bridge bit. I'm gonna do that next. The kind of bridge slash sign bit. Height-wise, that's something I gotta decide. If I'm gonna build this turtle thing, that could end up being quite large. And warehouses are 5 blocks high, so maybe if I make it at least 6, maybe even 7 blocks high, that could work. Not sure what to do with the end of it. I might just leave it as the torn off ends, and that might be the main bit that I'm incorporating from the original design, is the torn off end parts. Should have been using half, please. How to best do this? I think what I'm going to want to do is build myself a bit of a scaffold to climb up. Build up
energy critical
to what sort of height? Those are 3 blocks. So I'll need to add an extra 3 at least. It's 2, 3, and then I'll try and add a 4th. I'll see how high that feels once I get it up there. Then I can put a merge block in the middle. Then hopefully be able to pick this up and put another merge block down. So the bit I'm struggling with at the moment is when I lift this up with the nugget, I then can't hop out of the nugget to go and add a block underneath, which means I need to have the merge block for merging this down on the bridge before I get into the nugget to lift it. Unless, actually, I might have an idea. Make sure I get in directly in front, and I grab, lift. Oh, I landed on the skid. That was lucky. But then I should be able to hop off here, add my merge block, and build a ramp back up. Now, ramp. Ha! There we go. I've made this even a little bit taller with the way I laid out the merge blocks, which, looking at it, yeah, I think that was the right call. Oh, this makes me so nervous. I hate using flying things to get stuff to merge down. Fear that every time it snaps, it's going to just collide, like make me merge with the grid in a weird way or do something else horrible. So it's a very high bridge, but it's meant to hold a sign, so I think that's okay. And I need to get rid of that stand and then merge another bridge to bring it all the way out to here. Might clean this up first and then work on the far side of the bridge. One of the nice things about having the bridge all the way up there is that I can use it to build light setups like what I've got over on my little warehouse over here, so that I've got a nice spotlight setup for the build area that everyone's going to share. So there'll hopefully be a good amount of lighting even at night for this big area. And because the spotlights are so much further away, the spread will be larger and hopefully it'll all work out quite well from that point of view. I love it when beam blocks are part of my builds, because if you don't get around to welding them, it's not immediately obvious. I'm going to try and weld up some of these though, but I'm not sure how much effort I want to put into doing that. Huh. Smoke coming from? It's very odd. It's going downward. Oh, it's some sort of weird dust coming from the wheel that's doing strange things. Those bits. Now let's heal this slowly back. Hope I don't fall in the process. Uh-oh. That was lucky. I'm so lucky that scaffold block has that extra little ramp in the middle that actually allows you to climb out. That is incredibly helpful. I had no idea that was even in there. Yes. Pretty good. kind of like the wheels doing weird stuff, but it's probably not good for performance. Alright. Next section that needs doing. How do I do the next bit? I'll bring the platform sort of, well, sort of bit that's kind of close to where the platform for the train will be. Along here. Oh man. If I have a chance to build on another lake again, I am taking it. Building on a flat surface just allows for so many possibilities that don't require drilling. It's great. It's a bit boring from some other perspectives, but just having such an open slate to start with. Really had that. I always tend to choose places near mountains or other bits of fun scenery. So I just can't help myself. That's 23 blocks across. Oh, really 21, because I'd probably put it here. I think I'm going to struggle to get the distances right so that it lines up perfectly with the other bridge. What I think I'm going to do is place these merge blocks in, lift the whole bridge piece up, and just see how close it is, rather than trying to count it out and almost certainly getting it wrong anyway. And I want to use this one because it's got the carriage in it, but which end do I want to have poking out? Probably not the one with the ramp. You can cut the ramp off. There we go. And I'm going to cut this out and hopefully be able to put the merge block in there at the height that I've set up the other thing. It should work out to be the same height as the other side. Deliberately chosen the two bridges that still had rail cars on them because I kind of just wanted the rail cars on them. Oh, that rail car's not stuck. Well, that one's not coming then. A little bit awkward. Also, unfortunately, that means I've picked the bridge that's got more repairs to do to it. Oh well. So, since I'm planning on putting signage on this, I probably should, in an ideal world, have put the signage on when it was near ground level. Like, built up this whole bridge, made it the right dimensions except for the height, and then worked on it at a lower elevation. But I didn't think of that until just now, so that's not what I'm going to do. And I'm going to work at a horrible height for a whole bunch of time and just hope that it works out. Alright, so if I cut off that little bit of excess on this one, that little angular piece, and then cut off the last couple of bits on the other one, these should line up pretty well perfectly. Now, I should build a proper stairwell to access up here. Or a ladder? Maybe a ladder would be the better way to go. Although I'm going to need a stair to build the ladder. That is the main downside of ladders. You can't use a ladder to build a ladder. It should give me the full length of ladder that I need to at least get to the undersurface area. Then I can pull out one of the top bits and put another ladder in here, and we should be good. Now I can get into this bit, which is useful because I want to be able to put the line armor panels back in here, but I may also need to access this bit at another time as well. When I'm doing the signage, I'm not sure. Depends where the signage is going to be actually attached to. But I figure giving myself access to both those bits properly is unlikely to be a bad thing. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, that's a miracle. Didn't get hurt. Just looking at the ladder going, I don't want to take the ladder the whole way down. No. I've also made that really, really difficult for me to get across there. Uh-oh. Run, run, run. Oh no. It got supported. It's okay. Other than that, to make it a little bit easier, a little bit less likely to have a full inventory when I do it. Slot nicely into position, please. Hey! We got a bridge! Look at that! Kill! Now I can get rid of the other bridge I brought home. Because that just needs to be scrapped. I don't need that bit at all. Clean that up. At the very least, stick my splitsy sign on there, but I would like to get the neon on there. But maybe not today. Maybe that's for another day. I'm quite enjoying doing the big stuff right now. Alright, let's grind all this away. I like that this is keeping the scrapyard feel while also somehow tidying up. It's an unexpectedly pleasant combination of things. And that's pretty much cleaned up. Actually didn't take long to grind down at all. Let's get this thing finished. Alright, last bit to do is get up into the underbit and fill in the little plates. I've got the bridge in. It does take a little while to climb this ladder, but it's not the worst ladder I've climbed. As I climbed that whole long ladder in the Lost Colony. Oh. Yeah, that might explain why this is doing weird stuff. But also, build vision, are you gonna build info? One of them. You gonna save me here? I don't think you are. I can't reach the other side to place these. These are not placed inside this layer. The row above is. I don't think I'm gonna be able to place the panel here because my body is gonna be blocking it. I go out far enough to be able to place it. No, I have to build scaffolding to do this. The ladder was useless. Who'd have thought it? Should be safe to drop off here. Especially if I grab again. As I go down. All just to fill in that gap. All just to fill in that gap, which is probably a minor detail that doesn't matter. It's definitely a minor detail that doesn't matter. But I've got it in my head that I'm going to do it now, and that means I'm going to do it. And one more bit, and we're done. Oops. Now, normally, I would have been really upset with that having happened, because I've now got a divot in my driveway. But, loving the voxel resets, so that doesn't matter. That divot will be gone in a day or so. Yes! Bridge. Now we need railings up there. Turns out I wasn't finished. I was going to leave this car up here, but it does look a little bit unhealthy with those wheels poking through there. Well, since I can't lift it off, I might do a quick reconnect and see if it fixes the location of it. And yes, it did. So that was a weird desync. Oddness, maybe? Either way, this is on the surface now. I'm happy. I'm going to leave that car there. Okay, plug this thing back in. Think about the next job I want to do. I think I want to build the station, because if we're going to be using the train to go and collect ice, which seems likely given the success of the last run, I'd like to have a way for people to load up a bit more easily. But also, I want to potentially build myself a purpose-built cargo and drill carriage so that we have two of them. I think it could be nice having both this one and another one with maybe more of a cargo focus on it. Maybe I'll try and do some shenanigans with small grid to large grid so that I can use the large grid small cargo containers because they're a lot bigger and a lot more plentiful. Well, they're a lot bigger than small grid mediums and they're a lot more plentiful than large small grid ones like this because I've only got the one of those, I think. Whereas I do come across quite a lot of the small grid large, small, large, medium, 12, 7, 3. There are a lot more of the large grid, small cargo container. You know what I mean. It might be worth the shenanigans to see if there's something I can do with it. And I've got one coal car here, so I can definitely do something with that. Or I can use two of these flatbeds, which may be a better fit, actually. But yeah, that's more plans for it. So I need to make sure that the platform's going to be long enough. And I don't think that's going to be a problem, because if we look here, the train is just under half the length that I've got to play with, which is perfect. Let's try and line this up so that I can get the connector back on. Because I did lose the connector in between the two rounds. Those two there. And that there. I think I want to pull in the other way. Yeah, I think I want to pull in the other way so that the charging is at the far end of the station. Do you know, I didn't notice during all the shenanigans we did that you followed giving this thing eyes. I noticed the mouth and then didn't realize that it had eyes too. Just thought of something fun. I'm mostly going to be driving this train when I've got other people. I should make a proper control for the little filler thing so someone can hop off the train, go and control it, and when we get back to base we can hook up that way. Just for something a bit different. But also, if I improve it, give it some lateral movement. Alright, let's see how close I got. Oh. This might need more reach now I've got the longer wheel, the wider wheelbase. Because I didn't want to sit too close, because I actually want I wanted the platform to stick. Do I? Maybe I could just get myself closer. See how close I am to height myself. I think that's definitely a bit low. I do love that with just two trailers this thing is reversible. As in I can drive it in reverse and relatively accurately control it. Not super accurately, but I can control it a bit. Oh yeah, I'm totally going to have to extend the arm. Yeah, look, that's definitely a slight problem. Oh, I totally should have made this whole thing piped. that if I made this piped up, I could actually empty the ice via this. And so this isn't actually a filler, it's an emptier. Oh, okay. Oh, do I want to do that now? I don't think I want to do that now, but I do want to do it. Okay, that's another job I need to do. Gotcha. Another thing on the list. Yep, totally doing that. So I can just straight up offload the ice through the conveyor system. Be much, much easier. It's strange having to go through the train to get to the ladder. Hooray! Alright, train is locked on. What the heck am I going to do as a platform here that's going to be useful? I feel like I need to get something that goes over the wheels. Which means I'm going to probably need to do something about this drill. Or am I? That height's going to be wrong. So's that. Platform might have to be a separate grid. So what I'm imagining is... Oh, how could I do this? Oh, I think I know. I think I know. If I start down here, build a bit of a wall, and somewhere for a landing gear, mag plate, whatever to attach to. Then I build a piston. I can then place a nice little boardwalk, and I might actually make it with wood texture. I'm going to see what it looks like in wood texture, but if I don't like it, I'll just make it corrugated or something. Yeah, then I should be able to use the piston to adjust the height to get it perfectly so it sits over the wheels, but at a height where you can then walk onto the train cars. Because if I've got a platform, it needs to be at a useful height. Okay, piston goes up so that it can come back down. So if we select wood, I never use wood. Orange, something like that. Can't really tell because I'm looking at the dark side of it. How does this look when it's welded up? Well, yeah. How does it look in small grid? There's just no... okay. How does it look as a slab? I think that might actually have more bits to it. Okay, yep. Half blocks look better. Trouble with half blocks is if I use a half block going over this whole thing, that's going to be massive. What about half blocks in small grid? No, same issue. Okay, so pretty much I've got a choice of doing this with panels like this in wood or not using wood. I'm going to leave it wood for now. If I need to change it later, I will. I'm hoping I can get it to stick out that far. Maybe that's too far. Maybe I'm overreaching. Especially as I can't actually get into the rail car. That's because I'm at the wrong height, of course. So, the idea I have is this. I should be able to put a mag plate under here. And when I get to the correct height, I can then put a block in the ground so that it locks to that. I can then convert that whole thing to a static grid, embed it in the ground through some other way, and then I've got the two static grids next to each other. Much like I did with the ramp. But this way is just nicer because I get to use the piston to adjust the height to get it to exactly where I want it. Which is clearance over these wheels, but not interacting with the train. Yeah, I dreamed of being able to do this and just walk on and off. Uh-oh. Relatively easily? Okay. You can walk on easily, but getting off is tricky. Alright, so maybe we don't have these bits. Maybe I just accept that my platform will have to be a bit more narrow and still require a little bit of jumping. Because I think this might be better. But you can do this sort of jump. Oh, that's a clever use of a ladder there to help people get on board. This might be less of a problem with the drill too. Oh, dang. This should be around this way. So that I can place any sort of decorative bits on top of it. Seats, that sort of thing. Oh yeah, especially with the locomotive, I definitely couldn't have pushed that out any further. Obviously the platform's not going to run the whole way down here. I was just doing that to test. To test like where I can actually have the... to test that the locomotive would clear it. Yeah, the drill clears. It's almost perfect height for this. So at least the locomotive's easy to access. It is a pity that you can't access the whole train from it. That is unfortunate, but still. I really like these little barricades. It's a really nice little bit of design. Platform should probably run to... Locomotive attaches there, and I want to be able to walk on. Needs to run to at least here, but then this bit can come off. now to turn the platform into a static grid. Go like this. Nope, not like that. That was wrong. Go like this. No. What? Stop snapping! Grrr. There we go. Go like this. Third time's the charm. Switch lock. And then I can build a little control thing on here. And then I will be able to turn it into a static grid. That is not the thing I thought I had selected. Cut to station. It's now a station. Now I have to figure out how I interface between this height and the regular station height. That I don't know. I haven't thought that part through. Might need a third static grid to allow the two to have a little ramp between them. Maybe I can make a little ramp out of small grid that I connect the two with, or a little set of stairs. That could work. You know what? As long as you don't look too closely at the wood, I think this looks kind of right. This scrap setup, having this in timber. All right, I'm gonna need a jetpack to fix this. Boop. Boop. There we go. We can get rid of the piston and all that. I think I am overlooking the obvious solution here with these two grids being misaligned. Just don't bring the main grid where the station is and just make the station out of a separate grid, which I hook up via connector. I think it may even be possible that I could get a connector to actually work to hook these up without adjusting anything. I'm going to test. You let me place you there, but not at the other side. Will you let me place one here too? Okay, let's see if these two hook up. They're close enough. That's perfect, because that means I've got power on the station, which means I can have lights. That's really the only reason for these connectors. I may do this connection somewhere else. I'm just testing it where it allowed me to place it. So I figured I'd start there. No. Oh, I was so hopeful. Pretty sure it doesn't make a difference to the position, whether you rotate it like that, but it's a part of me that just wants to make absolutely sure. Yeah, doesn't make any difference. Oh, I have another idea of how to connect those. Build two small connectors and use them to build two connectors, but bridge them with a small grid. That doesn't look healthy. That doesn't look healthy at all. Oh, that's better. Alright, so I gotta build up a bit of a base to work from. I'm gonna need probably 2 or 3 blocks width to get enough space in large grid to build a bit of a structure on top of. I don't think I need to make this concrete the whole way along, but I do need to make it connected properly. Have a look at what other ways I'd rather do this. I think maybe even building this with... Oh no! No, I do need this to be concrete full block the whole way along. If I don't do full blocks, then I don't have a surface to put stuff on top of. So yeah, this actually does have to be this the whole way along. And I just ground away stuff that I'd welded up. But yeah, that needs to be full block the whole way along so that I can put things on top of it and it has a solid floor. Unless I change it to some other block type that I would use on the underside.
No
it gives me a full block. Maybe plate? Okay. Couple of extra batteries, nice. Anything else in my mailbox while I'm here? J&R repair and maintenance. Tim and Ropey. Yeah, read that one before with... Oh, nice. Just to drop some plate off, as we're a bit low. Oh, I still need to go to this mysterious loot. Completely forgot about that. I will do that today. I just need to get some power. Maybe I'll do that once I've got a bit more of the train built. Yeah. Got so distracted by all the trips to the pole. Interesting. Didn't think I'd be able to place a block there. Oh, I really worry that if I place this, is it going to make it snap? Nope. Seems fine. Okay, cool. That. I might not actually dislike all that much. Cool. So I think this is the sort of support structure I'm going to build. Going to keep underneath the station. I also discovered that trying to get the bits under the ground really hard unless you're going off one that's already existing. So what I did was I got one down and then I just used full blocks to get to the next one, and then full blocks to get to the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one, and then ground them out. Because yeah, that's much easier than trying to jetpack around underneath and get all the bits in between. Yeah, I think that'll give me something that feels different to the rest of the base, but still in keeping with the aesthetic that we've got here. So I think the main reason I wanted to lift this rather than have it as a solid block was just because that becomes a gigantic solid block of concrete. I didn't really want that. But also, I didn't really want to go with something too thin. So hopefully the half blocks will look right in the end. And because I got multiple grids around here, I can't use the snap to grid. Because the snap to grid build mode doesn't actually work because it snaps to the main grid, the biggest grid around here, not to this little one. Which means I can't use that mode to get stuff underground lined up properly. Alright, this should give me a very large area to work on. This is likely to get shrunk down later, but I thought I'd place it out big to begin with and then go from there. Get some stairs. I kind of want to go with these stairs, but then I don't like the lack of a railing. And down the bottom, that allows me to then put in a full block like this, or even better, a half block like this. We come to the bottom step. Yeah. Okay, this might be bigger than I should have gone. Maybe I should have stuck to 3 blocks. Oh well. Yeah. I'm probably going to shrink this down. When I was placing down these catwalks, I actually placed them down on the lower side. And the reason I did that was that I wanted to be able to do this. Now, of course I don't have the interior plate on me. So when I was placing down the catwalk up here, I placed it down upside down, as in I placed it on this block, not on the block above. And the reason I did that was, I have visitors. Hello? Oh, wait, I'm still 300 meters away. I guess I should go say hi. Never mind. But yeah, the reason I placed the catwalks, I might just finish my thought. One sec. That's going to make the fool confused. And that's their name. That I'm not calling... Ugh. Anyway. Basically, I wanted to be able to put some planters on here, as well as railings, so that I wasn't just stuck with railings being the only thing. By having the catwalks upside down, you can do that. And you can have little plants on there. I think is a nice little touch. Other than it all being just railings. The plants provide some of the barricade. But I'm going to go say hi. Hopefully. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello there.
Oh, what? I heard voice.
Yes, I'm up on my crane.
Ah.
There should be plenty of ladders around to get up.
Plenty of ladders, you say. To shreds, you say. There we go. Probably chose the worst ladder. Welcome. That's a shiny vehicle.
Yes, it's bright yellow.
I was talking about the purple one.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. You're a lot more mobile than the last time I saw you. You were T-posing in my bar. You were mentioning you might have had some stuff You've got a couple of small grid, large cargo containers. But surely you want to keep a hold of those, or because you're large grid rovering, you don't care about that anymore?
Basically, I'm a large grid rover, and I don't really care about that anymore, and any excuse to clear spots on my deck is a good excuse.
Awesome. Well, that's certainly going to make me... So, basically, I had a plan with the train. I was going to build another coal car combo carriage so the train becomes 3 carriages long, because I think it can handle it. We'll find out if I'm wrong. But it might have been nice to have a bit of extra cargo, and I'd been planning on subgridding in some large grid stuff, but if you're happy to donate these, that will work a lot better.
Yep. I figured that would work better. Same size as the large grid cargos, I think. Yeah,
the same capacity, but a lot easier to work with. Well, shall I bring my nugget over, or do you want something to drop them on top of?
Oh, that will work. I was just going to unload them onto my small rover and carry them over, but if you want to bring the nugget, that's probably faster.
Alrighty. I'll be back in a minute. I've got a few 100 meters to run.
Want to ride?
Yeah. It was a bit of a slow walk. I mean, I know we're Olympic class sprinters, but it's still slow. Oh, fancy. Oh, that was oh, careful. Probably should have warned you about that.
Yeah, that was a surprise.
I've been building a bit of a train station, but it doesn't have power yet, so it doesn't have any lights. If you swing around to your left, you can go in through the new gateway. You can be the first person to drive through it.
Yay!
In fact, it's so dark you might not even be able to see that you're going through a gateway. I don't know, the sky gives enough of a mark.
Ooh, pothole.
Oh yeah. That'll be fixed up in a day or so, I'm sure. Alright, I'll meet you back over there. Huh, I almost made this usable in first person. Almost.
Those control panels should be accessible by you to unlock the stuff if you want to.
Yeah, alright. Might land before I do that because I have yeah. I may not be able to get back in. Oh, that wind turbine is awkward.
Oh, I can unlock them then.
Yeah, I might. If you unlock them, I'll then grab them after, because otherwise the inertial dampeners go weird.
Well, let me know when you're close.
Yep, I'm good. This is awesome. This is genuinely awesome. This is, with these two plus the one that I've got, that's like triple the storage that's currently on the ice train, which may end up being too much unless I can figure out a really quick drill that can fill them up quickly. Alright, we'll be back in a minute. I'll just drop these off. Oh, I definitely need navigation lights on that bridge. That is a high danger target. I'm so going to run into it if I don't put some lights on it very soon. Oh, I could put some of my little lamps on the roadway. That could work. Alright, I might just take the, just looking around for a small vehicle. I think I'm going to have to take my telehandler over. That's going to be the quickest way to get over there. I mean, it would be if my top speed wasn't less than my sprinting speed. There we go. That's a safer speed. It's still fast enough. Thanks for dropping those off. That's going to be incredibly useful.
Sure thing. Anything else you saw you liked up there?
I don't think so. I think I'm pretty good otherwise. Honestly, I don't know. I might get back to building this train station. Very much appreciated.
You're welcome. I will resume my wanderings in search of more scrap.
Cool. Hopefully see you around soon.
Laters.
See ya. Man, I love that ramp. Every time I go up these ramps, I'm so happy with them. Just being able to drive on grid and have it transition between levels without everything bouncing all over the place and being horrible. Alright, back to building this thing. Probably should power it up sooner rather than later so I can get lights on it so that we don't run into the problem we almost did there with collisions. Alright, so two little plant things there. Now, for the little station house, let's just think about how this is going to work. Trusses? One of the tricky things I've got with trying to build a platform with a bit of a roof is how do you incorporate panels as roof while still being able to connect to things like the truss pillars or the interior pillars, because that's what I would want to connect to so that the thing's there. Because if I build this and then let's just use this as a ramp so I can go up and then put one of these on, this one, does it look weird? Obviously it looks weird because it's in concrete. Let's change that to corrugated. It looks a little bit weird, but it's not actually as bad as I feared. Because what I was thinking I was going to have to do was build a structure, build an actual enclosed building on one side of this, so that I could have slope blocks to attach to hide the fact that this was all just weird. But it doesn't look like I'm going to have to. It would if I used 45-degree slopes. Maybe I just build an open... Maybe I just build an open platform and we just have chairs and stuff. That could actually be nicer. Especially since this has worked out better than I thought it was. Thought it would. Just going to see how this looks with two different widths. And of course, the challenge of figuring out what sort of lighting and how I'm going to do the lighting around here. Yeah, that doesn't look too weird. Looks a bit weird with where I put the pillars, but if I move this pillar all the way to the end here, and then bring this one to here, then get rid of this bit of platform. Actually, just keep this really narrow. I think it'll work. Yeah, I've gone far more modern than I was intending, but I'm actually thinking this will look pretty nice. Oh, I have an idea. I was looking at the end bit and like, that just doesn't look very supported. I have an idea of how to fix that. How does that look? Yeah. That goes okay. Oh. I think that's going to have to go so that I can put something else in here. Starting to think I might actually try and support some of this with plate rather than pillars. The reason being is otherwise I'm not going to be able to put any... I'm kind of using up the block space that I would use for railings. So my plan had been to put the railings on the outside, on the back of the pillars like this. So I might have to do it like that. Lose that railing. Put a half in there. And come around the side here. Put a full one. Theory. That should make it so when you go up these stairs, you don't try and walk through the little gap. And it makes it feel a bit nicer. It also provides a nice, simple attachment for railing to go there and there. Not that it's needed because the pillar would have provided it as well. I think I might make these full. Oh wait, even better. I should use these walls. Think of them like a windbreak. The reason I want to use that is then I can still put something on this block and it's fully blocking pedestrian access through there, which is what I was hoping to achieve. The only alternative is just getting rid of this support altogether, turning this into a corner piece. Which I'll do for now and then see if I dislike it later. I mispainted a bit. Let me fix that. What color do I want to bring in here? I think I want to bring some of the blue from the warehouses into this a bit. I brought the yellow of the... Oh, no, not sandy. I brought the yellow from the nugget onto the railings to try and add a bit of color. Because it felt very grey here with all the concrete and stuff. It felt very dull. I'm wondering what it'll look like if I make at least the pillars into blue. Maybe the roof. Oh, no, wait. No roof. No, leave the roof grey because I need to put seats on here. And maybe a vending machine. Nuts. Can't make vending machines, so I'm going to have to just stick with putting some signs up and hoping that adds enough colour and charm to the place. We've got a few ducks playing flutes to put at the end of the platform. I think with the chairs, it's broken it up reasonably well. But I was going to put this one there, another one down the other end. And I think we're pretty happy with this. Oh, I didn't bring the stuff for the railings. Curses! So to be able to get the sign where I wanted, I had to add some plates to the ends of the platform to put these railings on. So the railings would be on the right block. And I feel like when I do these sorts of builds, most of my time is spent trying to figure out how to get which blocks to have what in them. Like how to get certain things clear so that I can use other things. It's like its own little mini game. One which I'm sure a lot of people would wish we didn't have to play because it'd be lovely to have compound blocks. Do we have any other signs that would be fun around here? Safety, storage area, explosive. Well, maybe I should put authorized personnel rather than no access shooting. Oh, I can't. It doesn't attach to those signs. Okay. Never mind. It's the only one that I can use. Okay, so lighting then will almost certainly need to be attached to this side of things. Like this. That'll give me some pretty good lighting without looking too strange. I wonder if there's anywhere I can place some over here. Maybe I'll just bring some street lights over to here as well. Make some extra street lights, put them down. That's probably an easier thing to do rather than messing around with more weird attachment points because of the railings taking up most of the spots. But yeah, I think for a fairly basic platform, this is a good start. I certainly am keen to hear some ideas from you guys about what I could do to enhance this and make it a bit more interesting. I could probably go with adding a few more planters around the place to add a bit more color and interest. Not exactly sure where, but I'm sure I could try and find some spots that might work, like there, just to brighten things up. It is unfortunate I don't have access to vending machines, because I would have liked to put a couple on here. I think that would have been a nice touch. But yeah, any other ideas you got, let me know. I will hopefully get around to implementing them, because I would like to try and make this station feel special. Really happy with the progress so far today, though. Just got to get this thing connected to my base now, so those lights can actually be turned on. How am I going to do that with it being relatively hidden? I've made that difficult. Might have to do that underground. I can't think of a nice way to do that with me having the platform lifted off the ground like that. I really like the look of my station in the daytime. I think it looks better than it did at night, which is not how I normally feel about things. I'm genuinely happy with how this looks in the daylight. I think it's because it's washing out the corrugated roof a bit. Like the coloring's a bit more muted, which is nice. Yeah, I'm really happy with this. Cool. I am going to go and check out some mysterious lost cargo, which just disappeared from my GPS. Nope, now it's over. Oh, I'm so confused. I think my GPS is quite weird there. Appear to have been delivered some cargo containers as well. Oh, that's where all the plushies and stuff. Cool. Yeah. It's these. Yes. Yes. I had wondered where they were. And actually looked for them. Cool. So if I'm going to go and collect some lost cargo, the nugget is the go. There's definitely something here. So it hasn't been deleted, which is good. Because I was a bit worried. I had taken a bit longer to get to this than I had intended. What is that? What the heck? I don't have what? A creeper? Plank cola? A crane? Wait a second. And a chipsticks? Huh. No, a KB. Wait, there's a KB there. There's a chipsticks here too? I see in from here. Is there someone in there? Or is that just broadcasting? Oh no, there's someone in there. Okay, apparently I'm being delivered people who I have to escape the planet with. I'm guessing that's going to be the point here. Got a little rail cars. Now, if I detach them, I should be able to pick up both of them and carry them home. And then decide what the heck to do with all the posters. I suppose like a bunch of them can go on the back walls of like the warehouses and stuff. That'd be kind of cool. Oh, I picked up the wrong one first. Pick up the short one first, then the tall one. Why I do that wrong so many times. Before anyone starts getting worried, no, this is not turning into the collector. I do not want deliveries of bodies. But I'm sure I will have some fun with these two. And trying to figure out how to put them on the escape ship when it eventually becomes a thing that I'm planning, because I'm not even remotely thinking about that right now. It seems too far away. Well, that is pretty cool and very unexpected. I just realized I've actually now got 2 of those splitsy signs, which means I can put them on either end of the bridge around the neon lettering that I make. Also, this is probably not where I want to park these. That's going to be very much in the way. Maybe for now I'll put them behind the bar. Oops. Bad wrong. Oh. There is some inertia to these things. And I clipped the wheel on my little overhead lighting rig for the bar. Could have been very bad. Right, we'll drop those there. Obviously I need to now get these up onto the bridge and lock them on. But I think what I'd like to do is get the neon up there first. But I wanted to test something really quick to see if it makes my plan around the neons possible. Because I have an idea that I think could make the signage work much, much better. These aren't connected to anything, are they? Nope. Cool. Alright. So. Need a control panel and some neon. So right now the batteries say they'll last 127 years. I'm pretty sure that if I add neon to this, that's not going to change. As long as I don't put actual lights on, I should be able to use tiny batteries like these to do all of the neon. Which means it doesn't need to be connected up to the main base. Oh, now it's saying 10 years. So they use a teeny tiny weeny little bit of power. I don't think that's going to matter. Space Engineers is only 10 years old, so I don't think I'm going to get to the point where they're getting used up. Okay. But even more so, if I went and used one of these big batteries, then really not going to have a problem. Because, guess I'm probably going to end up with a lot of neon on this thing to try and form all the letters that I want to form up. Is that changing it much? Still 10 years. It's being welded up matter? No, still 10 years. Okay, cool. So my idea was, basically, I can just landing gear lock the neon up there and have it fixed to the bridge, which is going to make it heaps easier. And in the process of doing that, I can keep it all small grid, all easy, no hinges, no rotors to make it all look messy. But that is something I am going to do next time, because I think it's going to take me a fair bit of time to figure out exactly what I want to write up there. I think I'm just going to keep it simple and do Splitsy's scrap with some fun having some of the letters turn themselves off. So that's all that, and plenty more to come, and I will see you then. Hopefully with my voice back to normal.